1 in 4 American dog owners own 2 dogs.
1 in 4 American college students take courses online.
1 in 4 British people don't believe the moon landing ever happened.
1 in 4 parents sneak gum from their kids' Halloween candy.
1 in 4 Americans believe that their mom makes the best pie.
A band called the Have-Nots have a song called 1 in 4.
1 in 4 bananas sold in the UK are fair trade.
1 in 4 American children receive Dr. Seuss as their first book.
1 in 4 animals on the earth is a beetle.
1 in 4 Americans break their diet over Thanksgiving.
1 in 4 American households watches television on the internet.
1 in 4 hikers who start the Appalachian Trail will actually finish it.
1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. By CADVA is to engage all people in a movement to change the social and political systems that perpetuate violence against women. We do this through education, advocacy, and quality victim services. We are a central clearinghouse for anyone in the state who interfaces with domestic violence. And probably most importantly, when victims feel as if they may be falling through the cracks, we're a last stop for them.
Our coalition does represent the local domestic violence programs across the state of Iowa. We always try to make sure that they have the most up-to-date statistics, research, the upcoming trends in the United States.
We train and consult with anyone whose job intersects with survivors of domestic violence. So it could be law enforcement, healthcare providers, social workers, corrections staff, even faith communities.
We have an amazing team. Each and every one of us has a certain expertise, but then when we put us all together in one large group, we do amazing, amazing things.
At the Coalition Against Domestic Violence, my job is to be a lobbyist as well as an attorney. So my job is to go down to the Capitol 4 months out of the year and lobby legislators to try to get laws enacted that benefit victims of domestic violence. There are 2 reasons that it's important to have laws in place to protect them. First of all, so prosecutors and law enforcement have the tools to go and really make sure that abusers are put away where they should be. But secondly, it sends a message that the state will not tolerate this type of abuse. For years, domestic abuse has been considered a private problem, a problem that should be dealt with in the home. And when the state gets involved and passes laws to protect victims, it's sending the message that this isn't just a problem that you as a victim have to deal with alone. It's a problem that the state is going to help address and the state deems is wrong.
So I'm the Housing and Economic Justice Coordinator. That means that I take calls from programs trying to help victims with housing issues or finance issues, and I try and provide support to them. Batterers have lots of tools in their toolbox to attack victims, trying to restrict the finances, keep them from having a job, take away the car, and that's how they keep them in control. What I do is try and take that tool away by training women to balance budgets, to become financially literate, to open a bank account, to make a spending plan, and get affordable housing.
The women that we work with are women whose crimes were directly influenced by the domestic abuse in their lives. So their batterers forced them to commit a crime, or these women acted out in self-defense and are penalized for it with lengthy jail sentences. My part of it is working with the women, interviewing them, helping to pick the candidates who best suit our commutation project. And in that project, these women, with our help, explaining how the domestic violence in their lives led them to commit this crime and asking for a compassionate shortening of their sentences.
I work with our men's committee. It's a statewide group of men who are doing prevention work. And I also work with, we have social marketing interns who are making prevention campaigns on their college campuses. Domestic violence impacts people individually, in their relationships emotionally. It impacts children, families, friends, but it also hits our community financially. Ending domestic violence is really important, and prevention is a key part of that.
I've been doing this work for nearly 28 years now, and the reason that I love doing it at the coalition level is that when I worked with individual women on a daily basis, it felt like the struggle was really difficult every day. And at the coalition level, as we all joined forces and share our expertise and power, We get to help battered women on another level.
The coalition is able to assure the quality of training to make sure that no matter where you are in the state, when you go to a local program, you're going to get compassionate and expert help.
We work when we're changing laws, when we're enhancing services, when we're seeing a larger impact.
If we can make the changes that we're working on, it's going to benefit not only domestic violence victims, but it's going to benefit families all over.
We are creating a new focus on domestic violence prevention to stop it before it starts.
Working for a coalition of people gives you more power because you have a bigger group of individuals willing to speak out on an issue.
It used to be this was not something that people really knew about or talked about, and now most people have heard of domestic violence, and rather than saying, what's that, what they're often saying is, what can I do about it? And that's a big change.
I go to work every day because of a victim that I worked with when I first started out at the coalition, and she ended up being killed by her husband, and I go to work every day for her. So that never happens again.
The future is simple. Every woman will be safe in her own home. No woman will fear the one she loves. Women and their children will be treated with dignity and respect. Communities will support healthy relationships and healthy sexuality.
What's really exciting about working at the Iowa Coalition Against Domestic Violence is that every day I get to be a feminist activist. With the Alice Barton Scholarship Project, we have feminism in action. We are giving money to survivors of domestic violence so they can get education and job training. And through that, they can become powerful women who are able to change their own lives and the lives of people around them.
Rather than just providing social services, the Skylark AmeriCorps project is aimed at social change. AmeriCorps breaks down barriers to survivors of domestic violence, regardless of employment history, incarceration, or even education. Skylark AmeriCorps is a game changer for many women and a game changer for the way we as a community offer employment opportunities.
With financial literacy and by running financial literacy programs like the Coalition Against Domestic Violence does in partnership with the 28 domestic violence programs across the state of Iowa and the All-State Foundation, we are able to create generational change. This is actually creating the circumstances or the possibility that low-income and middle-class families can have wealth and have savings that they'll pass on to the next generation, leaving the next generation better off than their previous generation. This is the American dream. This has always been our history. And this is what becomes possible when we talk about financial literacy.
One of my favorite projects that I cover that taps into this potential in people is our 6-week Healthy Relationship Project. We work with students from Grinnell College and the University of Northern Iowa to offer these classes at the 2 juvenile detention facilities in the state. Being facilitators for these groups, it turns out, creates great opportunities for students, but also builds skills for them to be activists in their own way in terms of violence prevention and in terms of building gender equity. Seeing their growth as they learn the language, they learn to facilitate, they learn to talk to their peers, lets me know that they will help us create change tomorrow.
Don't let your relationship go belly up. Respect your partner's boundaries and give each other some space. For more information on a healthy relationship, please visit www.thatsnotcool.com.